So next we have a special recognition of Mr. Jeffrey Austin.
Well, good evening, and thank you, Trustee Johnson, and trustees and members of the community. We're delighted to welcome Mr. Jeffrey Austin, and you are welcome to just come on down front and just make yourself comfortable. And we welcome Mr. Corey McElmill, the principal of Skyline, who is with him also. Both of you come on down. I'm going to say some things about you. They're good. And then we'll have you to the microphone. So if you're more comfortable seated or standing, whatever's most comfortable for you. This evening, the Ann Arbor Public Schools and the Board of Education are formally honoring Mr. Jeffrey Austin, Skyline lead English language arts teacher and director of the Skyline Writing Center. You probably have heard by now, but on November 30th of 2018, the Michigan Department of Education announced the selection of Mr. Austin to be a part of the new statewide Innovative Educator Corps. The IEC, authorized under the Marshall Plan for Talent, is a new recognition program for Michigan teachers who employ an innovative educational program, methodology, or strategy to help prepare their students for future career success in high-demand fields. As soon as I received word of this announcement, I didn't even have to read the text of it. I already knew what the award was for because the work that Mr. Austin does is known widely in terms of his innovation around the Skyline Writing Center. So teachers selected for this IEC honor were nominated by their peers, students, parents, community members, and school district administrators. Mr. Austin was chosen to be a part of the IEC because he demonstrated student academic achievement, successful implementation of innovative instructional methodology in preparing students for the 21st century, and because he exemplifies the passion, energy, and professionalism of the teaching profession. Mr. Austin was awarded $5,000 in recognition of the work he is doing as the director of the Skyline Writing Center. He received an additional $5,000 to use in partnership with the Washtenaw Intermediate School District to expand and replicate and share the innovative practices of the Skyline Writing Center with other districts in the county. Mr. Austin is taking his dedication to the Writing Center concept one step further. He is free to use the $5,000 stipend in any way he pleases, but he's decided to also use that $5,000 to go toward additional writing centers across Washtenaw County. That's a total of $10,000 toward new educational opportunities in Washtenaw County, thanks to the work of Mr. Austin. Mr. Austin recently announced the 5 schools that would be joining the first ever cohort of Washtenaw County Writing Centers project, who will be the beneficiaries of his award. These schools are A2 STEAM at Northside, Dexter High School, Pioneer High School, Saline High School, and Saline Middle School. The new directors at each site will receive coaching, mentorship, and support over the coming months to build and grow their Writing Center programs from our awesome Skyline Writing Center team. Mr. Austin created the Skyline Writing Center back in 2012, 1 year after he began teaching at Skyline High School. The Writing Center, as many of you know, uses the power of peer-to-peer support and techniques to help Skyline students with their writing, and he partners with organizations outside the school to help other students with literacy. Thousands of tutoring sessions have been conducted in the program's 7 years of existence. I have the great pleasure of following Mr. Austin on Twitter, and if you're not a follower of his, you must follow today. And so I get to see on a daily basis the tremendous work that Mr. Austin is doing, not only in his own English language arts classroom, but across Skyline and now as a shining light across the county. Recently, 3 of Mr. Austin's Writing Center students were selected from among their peers by the Secondary School Writing Center Association to present at their 2018 conference in Washington, D.C. Emma Rose Carpenter, Karsten Finholt, and Isabella Presley presented on the topic, Getting to Know a Growth Mindset, a Better Approach to Learning. They shared their tutoring experience and research with over 500 secondary writing center tutors, directors, teachers, and administrators representing more than 60 middle and high schools from across the country. The students' outstanding presentation is reflective of the exemplary leadership of Mr. Austin. His desire to improve how students learn has brought national attention to the Skyline Writing Center in the Ann Arbor Public Schools. We also want to recognize Mr. Austin for his roles as the Secondary School Writing Center Association's Midwest Regional Representative, as well as the conference keynote speaker. In his time on the SSWCA board, as well as through his work as the International Writing Center Association's secondary school representative, Mr. Austin has proven himself again and again to be an exemplary leader and advocate of the secondary school writing center community, both in Michigan and across the country. I know that that was an embarrassingly long piece about Mr. Austin, but I will share with you, trustees and community, I could go on and say a great deal more because what Mr. Austin has achieved is not only magical and powerful teaching and learning in his own classroom, but he has empowered and equipped his students to reach out and teach beyond the doors and walls of his classroom. And the light from that classroom is shining to writing centers across the country. This is a model for improvement and change, and I'm so proud this evening to publicly honor Mr. Jeffrey Austin. Join me. So why don't you share a few words? And then I'm under direction that you must have a photo on the stage following. Okay, thank you.
I just really want to say thank you to you, Dr. Swift, for the introduction and the board for recognizing the great achievements of really my students here tonight. We have 36 tutors who do this work day in and day out, and I would not have been in a position to receive this award if it weren't for them. And I really do appreciate everything that they put into work that's very challenging, very difficult, but very worthwhile in terms of building equity in our schools, in terms of helping to be college and career ready, in terms of building literacy frameworks that are really the key to success. So I'm really grateful to all of them. I'm grateful to our Skyline administration for their continued support of our program. I'm really also grateful to Sarah Andrew Vaughn for her help in supporting this, and all of the very many community members who have been so generous with their time and their support and their love over the years, because this is really a program that kind of needs that kind of work. It's a community program. I'd like to especially thank our partners at the University of Michigan and the Sweetland Center for Writing, and Christine Modi, Ann Blakesley and Kathy Fleischer at the Eastern Michigan University Office of Campus Community Writing, the good folks at 826, who also are really supportive of our work and who we're really happy to have a new partnership with this year. So there's a lot of hands that make heavy work really light, and we're grateful for everybody's continued support of what I think is really important and really valuable work in our district and beyond.